situation where I didn't have a choice to have an abortion, even though I tried desperately to find one, and as a result was forcibly pregnant, and then my child was forcibly removed and given to strangers.
How long do we have to wait to make a decision about our own bodies without fear of persecution or prosecution?
In a statement provided by Children by Choice, social worker Liz Price reported that a third of domestic violence cases had some sort of tampering or removal of contraception. Price also points out that this is the most common with younger women who experience sexual assault. Reproductive coercion is often utilized by a perpetrator to establish and maintain control over a woman by interfering with her reproductive control. According to the report, between 12 and 20% of women seek sexual health services to report coercion. With control over forcible pregnancies, it was reported that men often became that much more controlling. Some women report that reproductive coercion is often their first means of control before violence ensues. To combat forcible pregnancy, Children by Choice have published a report outlining ways in which women may be able to protect themselves. Not only does the report point out methods to use, but it also outlines whether a sexual partner will know if the woman is using it and how to detect when the device has been tampered with. For some women, emergency contraception is the only option. The organization suggests the emergency contraceptive pill to combat forcible pregnancies. However, when this too is tampered with, women are left with abortion, a right they are not entirely owed in the state of New South Wales.
I had a first-year student sitting in front of me and crying because their friend had been raped. And I very soon learnt this experience wasn't at all singular. As the semester continued, I was receiving emails, Facebook messages, and having conversations every other week, hearing about women's personal and vicarious trauma experiences as a result of sexual assault. This assault, which had previously seemed like a distant concept, very apart from your everyday university experience, I then realised to actually be very real.
The pro-lifers who call themselves the helpers of God's precious infants. They harass, abuse and intimidate patients, and even recently have come along with their little plastic fetuses. These disgusting tactics we often associate with what's happening in the US, because every day there's another statement where, of a law state law that has been changed. But I believe that is part of a global march against women's reproductive rights and the meagre measures that we have for us to take control of our own body.
It's time for New South Wales to stand up for a right to medical privacy.